the experience that I went through and some of my girls went through as well, like it got pretty like when the girl had voiced out her experience and stuff, she voiced out as well, adding the fact that there's this certain guy who he owns a yacht, he owns a restaurant, he owns so many stuff, like but he wasn't a sponsor. But that night he decided to like, hey, everybody can come to organize this whole dinner for all of the girls, like there was 90 of us together to go for dinner at his yacht club. And of course we went with our managers and we went with our sponsors. We went with the CEO of Miss Earth and all. And we had dinner and stuff. And at the end, he wanted to take photos with us. Like he showed us to his yacht and he was like telling us to like, we can take photos and stuff. And he had props and stuff like ready for us to just like, pretend to be like captains and all this and that. And then he would come up, like most of the time he would come up to me and my girls and he would like stick himself in between our photos, like in between us for our photos. And whoever's taking the photo, like they can't see it, and the girls, and we're all like, there's no one behind us or anything, and we're all like grouped around this guy, like this old man. And when the photo, just before the photo finishes, like when we're saying like thank you to him, he'd put his arm, like his hands down to our butt, and he'd grope us. He'd literally like so he would do that. So like going through all of that as well, like you never think that any beauty pageant girl you wouldn't think that any beauty pageant would go through it, but they did. And so I went through that as well. And when the girl voiced out her opinion, one of the other girls, Miss Cuba, she turned around and she was like, nothing like that ever happened, I didn't go through it. And so I took it upon myself to comment under her comment, because the girl had posted it on her Instagram. I commented under Miss Cuba and I said to her, just because you didn't go through it doesn't mean that that anybody else didn't go through it. I said to her, she's voicing out the fact that she went through it, and you're sitting here like diminishing her opinion, like like you're telling her, like you're literally telling the whole world that she's a liar. And and she's like, well, how would you know? She just started giving attitude and just started saying all of these things and stuff. And I turned around and I said to her, I would know because I went through it too. And she basically just turned around and said, you're a liar and all this and that. And I said to her, no. The thing is, there's so many girls out there. Like I was like I was messaging other girls saying like, hey, did you guys go through it and all this and that? And they're like, yeah, we even wrote a petition. Like a petition, like trying to, to send to the CEO and say like, look, I wouldn't be surprised if previous girls have gone through this, through the previous years, they've gone through it. But the thing is, it's never been voiced out. And I think if it was voiced out or brought up to, to the organization, they would have known about it, but they still would have been like, oh, just brush it aside because he's got money. If he's willing to put so much money into it, then
I promise you, they probably already know. I guarantee you, they know how. They know. But he has money, he has power, so status.
Exactly.